Now, we want you to look at the city's electric bikes. These are scooters. They were just tossed into the Genesee River. At 4, the company that owns them says it's their job to fish them out, and they're working on it. Chief Investigative Reporter Berkeley Green is live on Broad Street in view of some of those bikes. And Burke, the sooner the better, because the batteries have these heavy metals that can be a real problem if they leak, right?
They can. Metals like lithium and nickel, Deanna, are the primary ones, and they're not environmentally friendly if they happen to leak, as we've got an ambulance coming behind us here. You can hear that siren. But if you come to the next Amherst home playoff game, you can see these bikes we're talking about. There's some down here on the other side of the railing into the Genesee River. I see at least 3. One is almost completely submerged. And then if we start moving the camera 180 degrees to the other side of the river on the Blue Cross Arena side, that's where you will see other bikes that were thrown over the railing. You can see one right there. You can read the name on the side of it. It says VO. So today I asked environmental advocate David Mazer to come down here and take a look. He saw what we see, electric bikes and scooters sitting in the Genesee River water. And he noticed the batteries with those heavy metals.
That if they corrode or get into the environment, can be harmful not just for the wildlife that live there, but also for our health in excessive levels.
What impact do you think this has on the community, environmentally and just in terms psychologically, when you see vandalism litter like this?
I think it's probably very disappointing to local residents. I mean, I think most residents are trying to do the right thing every day. They want a clean environment, they want clean neighborhoods, they're not littering, many people will pick up their own trash. So when someone takes a huge item like this and essentially throws it into the local waterway, I think most people see it as a slap in the face.
Coming up in the next hour, you're going to see me walking up and down the river looking for these bikes that were thrown overboard and down into the Genesee River. And then you're going to hear the owner of the biking company explain what they're going to try to do to prevent this from happening again. They say it's a problem. They say they're working on getting them. They're the ones who have to fish them out of the river. If they don't do that, by the time the Amherst play the next home game and you're walking across Broad Street, you're going to see these bikes on both sides. Deanna?
Wow, you see these in use all the time. They certainly seem to be getting lots of use, Burke. So does the company think that the people who are riding the bikes and these scooters, do they think they're doing this?
No, they don't think they're the problem because they can track them with GPS and they know where the bike ride ends and they can see pictures of it. They think it's just other people picking up a bike, like if one were left right here behind us on the promenade, breaking the bike, dragging it over to the railing, throwing it over into the river, and just leaving it there. You got to have some strength because the bikes themselves are 83 pounds. And you mentioned there are lots of usage in this, Deanna. They calculate roughly 420,000 rides just last year using these VO bikes. They believe there's 1,200 bikes and scooters combined in the city, and the company believes that virtually all of them are intact and accounted for, except for the handful that we see down in the river there and down on the river on the other side.
Wow. Thanks so much, Burke.